Welcome to Conversations with Thomas. I'm your host, Thomas Kevin Dolan, pronouns he and him. I'm recording this podcast from the sacred lands of Hawaii, the island of Oahu, actually, the ancestral home of the Kanaka. I honor and deeply respect the original stewards of these islands. Their wisdom, resilience, and aloha still pulse through this place. Today's episode is about something that might be the most underrated life skill of all time: listening. I named the episode Listening as Your Accomplice. It's a conversation designed to move your heart, inspire your mind, and perhaps touch your soul, with an invitation for you to listen deeply, think boldly, and feel fully as we explore the messy, beautiful layers of being human. You know, in a world where most conversations can be summed up by, "How are you?" Fine. It's no wonder we feel disconnected. Fine is not a conversation. Fine is a parking lot where ideas go to die. In this, my second season of Conversations with Thomas, I have an intention that we break out of fine and into the kinds of exchanges that spark ideas, inspire change, and make you realize, oh, wow, I didn't know that. I'm talking about listening as your accomplice. Listening that doesn't just collect words, but transforms you. Listening to learn, not to reload and fire your next thought. From the preface of my memoir, Little Fag, A Journey of Self-Acceptance and Healing, I write this: I now see so clearly that I've healed every time I've had a good conversation with someone. My healing occurs while I laugh. The healing deepens when someone elicits a genuine smile from me. When using my creative energy to make something, especially when it's fun, I heal. As I allow myself to be absorbed in something that lights me up, my struggles get put on hold. That's not just pretty language. That's my life. Those moments weren't only about the words. They were about what they were really about: being heard, about someone sitting with me, really with me. Here's the short version. Listening is underrated. We live in a culture that awards the loudest megaphone, the person with the fastest thumbs, the sharpest or perhaps even meanest tweet, the biggest opinion gets the applause. Meanwhile, listening gets relegated to a polite nod in the corner. But I think listening is the headliner. The science even backs it up. Neuroscientists talk about neural coupling. This is actually really cool, neural coupling. When we listen deeply to someone, our brains begin to sync. We start thinking about similar lines, your emotional rhythms align, and that mental tango creates connection. That's where empathy happens. That's where perspective shifts. That's where change begins. And I'm sure you can think about a time where you could literally finish somebody's sandwiches. Okay, sentences. That's a little bit from Frozen. Do you remember that when you were lined up with them and you didn't know how you were lined up with them? It's because you were listening so deeply that you created this neural coupling. Alok Vaidmanan, this brilliant non-binary author, activist, and performer, and Alok is really, really brilliant. I would encourage you to find Alok somewhere on social media. I follow Alok on both Instagram and Facebook. Alok says this exquisitely well. Listening is the act of loving someone without trying to control them. Think about that. So many of us listen with a clipboard, scoring remarks, planning comebacks, waiting to top a story. Listening without a clipboard? Wow, that would be radical. That would be loving. That would be brave. Here's where it gets personal. It's part of the final chapter of my memoir. I share a moment with a psychologist. I met this psychologist on a beach on Maui that could have easily just been another polite exchange. A kind man from Santa Monica who specialized in dream interpretation was this psychologist. I shared with him my years-long saga of shark dreams, terrifying. These first fierce predators that hunted my sleep actually before I came out. He listened patiently as I recounted everything from the black-tip shark that swam by me while I was in the ocean, the humpback whale shark frenzy I had witnessed, the reoccurring shadows in my subconscious. Then he asked if I was open to some thoughts. Of course, I said yes, without hesitation. He said, "Sharks are powerful predators. Have you considered that your dreams might be about your anger or fierceness inside you?" I hadn't. He explained how those sharks could represent my own ruthless self-judgment and the tough issues I carried, things I hadn't fully faced while living in the closet. Then came the question that changed everything. He asked this, "What do you think the shark meant to you all those years?" I looked at his steady blue eyes and I shrugged. "I've never really known," I said. He offered his interpretation, of course, with my permission. He said, "The shark never got you, Thomas. It disappeared when you came out. But what if you were the shark all along?" That hit me like a tsunami, actually. I think it hit me like a wave. No, tsunami, now that I recount it and share with you. Suddenly the fear, the anger, the relentless pressure to survive. Maybe it wasn't some external force hunting me. Maybe it was me hunting myself, trying to find and protect my truth. Because I listened, I really listened to his words. I felt a shift. No longer was I just running from the sharks in my dreams, and that one day, literally running from the sharks in the ocean. I began to see that by coming out, by claiming my truth, I stopped hunting and started living. Isn't that beautiful? That day on the beach taught me that listening with openness and patience can unlock the stories we tell ourselves. It can reveal the fierce truths hidden beneath the surface. And that, in turn, is where healing begins. I discovered so much about what that wasn't about by listening. Andrew Gibson, whom I believe has become our modern day Rumi, said, "The most powerful thing you can say to someone else is, 'Me too.'" And when someone offers that, when a story lands and you hear "me too," the room changes. The knot or knots loosen. That's the connective magic of listening. Here's another glorious bit of science. I call it my science bonus for you. Deep listening actually reduces cortisol, the stress hormone. So yes, by listening well, you're really helping to lower someone's stress. You could be, this is kind of silly, but I'm going to share it with you anyways. You could be a walking meditation app. Imagine your bio. "Hi, I'm Thomas. I lower hypertension by eye contact and nods." Not an entirely useless dating line. When I wrote that preface line about healing through conversation, laughter, and creative absorption, I friggin' meant it. Healing doesn't always look like tidy progress charts. Sometimes it looks like losing yourself in an idea, being silly with someone. My husband and I do that really, really well. Making something dumb and gorgeous and noticing, "Oh, my shoulders dropped for the first time in months." And you don't have to be in the same room to practice this. You can grow your listening muscle alone through podcasts, audiobooks, guided meditations. I call it listening only mode. Treat it like airplane mode, if you will, for your attention. Put the phone face down, turn off the pings, and step into one single act, listening. Give it a whirl. Choose one episode, one chapter, one guided meditation. No multitasking, no scrolling, no answering emails in the background. Give your ear the dignity of full attention. Isn't that beautiful? Give your ear the dignity of full attention. It's astonishing how powerful that is. Like giving your nervous system a tiny vacation with very, very low expectations. And confession time. My husband actually just enlightened me to something. These podcasts, they're actually conversations. Who knew? You, the listener, can jump in anytime. Write to me through my website, share thoughts on social, or drop comments on my YouTube channel where the videos versions live live. You can even comment on the platform you actually use to listen. And here I was thinking it was just me on a monologue-infused rant. And after all, haven't I called it Conversations with Thomas? So yes, listen, but also show up. Tell me what landed, what irked you, what made you coffee choke with laughter. That's how this solo podcast shapes into a community conversation. You listening is the first step. Your voice back to me is the next. And if you want more listening that actually transforms, here's 3 ideas, 3 tiny moves. The first is this: schedule listening only blocks. 10 minutes a day. Well, hell, go 1 minute a day to begin with. No screens, just audio or silence. Begin to build that habit. The second one, create. No, I want you to curate. There we go. Curate for growth. Follow a podcast, an author, a teacher who shifts your view. Someone outside your usual echo chamber. Small, steady discomfort is the fertilizer for curiosity. And the third, note and reflect. After listening, jot 1 sentence. What did I learn? What shifted? This tiny act of reflection turns passive intake into what I call active growth. Let me divert here for a second and share a bit of a coaching promo with you. If listening is one of the most powerful tools for change, imagine being heard in return, given space where what you say is met with curiosity, not rescue, and where your pauses are as important as your sentences. That's what I do as a coach. That's what I do in my coaching practice. I listen deeply, kindly, and I help you hear the shape of your own life. If you're ready to be heard into your next step, book a free discovery call at thomaskevindolan.com. I will send no pitches. There will be no pressure. Simply a real conversation where you're the center of attention for once. So listening as your accomplice means letting it walk beside you, a steady companion, not an obedient servant. It means creating space to be surprised, to be moved, and to have your opinions shift without shame. It means sometimes sitting with someone and laughing until your face hurts and noticing that for a while, your worries have gone on vacation. Thanks for spending time with me on Conversations with Thomas and listening, not just with your ears, but with your attention, your curiosity, and no doubt your heart. From the quiet hum of a crowded childhood to this space of open-minded sound, it's a gift to speak. Thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me to speak. And more importantly, it's a gift to be heard. Conversations with Thomas is brought to you by the Thomas Kevin Dolan Coaching Company and is executive produced with love by my husband, Adam Maw. If something here sparked insight, perhaps lifted your spirit, or even brought a smile, I'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe wherever it is that you get your podcasts. And if you're facing a challenge or nurturing a dream and need a little guidance, I'd love to walk alongside you. Visit thomaskevindolan.com to book that free discovery call, or simply send me a message and I'll get back to you. Until next time, friend, keep listening as your accomplice. Stay curious in the silence beyond words. And above all, keep choosing to listen to yourself and to others.